that Judas, from the Bible, Judas was more of a noble person and more of a loyal person than Erika Kirk was. It's just so odd to see the people who were thought to have been leaders. Power corrupts, man. When you get to a certain level, when you owe somebody something, when somebody thinks they have something over you, there's really there's only so much freedom in this world as you force yourself to have, and depending on how much you're willing to listen to figures of authority. But I think in general, that's where the world's going. We see there is no authority. We see there is no structure, no hierarchy, nothing to take seriously, really. Politically, we thought we would get something totally different out of Donald Trump, but that just didn't happen. But anyways, all that aside, getting into the real topic, I think it can really be argued that Judas was more of a noble person and more of a loyal person than Erika Kirk was. Especially after the debate yesterday with Candace Owens and Andrew Wilson. Uh, there's just such an unusual amount of backlash for people who are asking questions. And it's just laughable at this point. 2026, who would have thought that a kid who is potentially on death row, young white kid, I don't know how old Tyler Robinson is, like 22 or something? I don't know. A white guy, a white kid, his biggest hope on, or his biggest advocate for getting the public's approval of him or acquittal of him is a black pregnant woman. An American black pregnant woman is his biggest hope right now, his biggest advocate in the public. And honestly, she has her own reasons, of course, because, she was friends with Charlie Kirk, so she has an incentive to truly find out who the killer is and not just send some random kid to jail who might not deserve it, but more importantly to her, who wasn't the perpetrator. So she's got a real reason, this cat. She's got a real stake in this. It was very clear that Andrew Wilson did not. And I guess people are saying like, oh, well, don't compare murder to aggravated murder, was it? Like everyone's trying to say, oh, those are really the same thing. I mean, yeah, but unless you're following the case, you wouldn't really know that. And it's pretty clear that Andrew Wilson wasn't following the case. But what I wanted to say was about Judas. At least Judas took the 30 silver or whatever he had, the shekels. At least he took that money that he got for selling out Jesus. He threw it back at whoever, Pontius Pilate or whoever. At least he did that and then took a walk off into the rural areas of the Middle East there. And Erika Kirk, she's still got a lot of money that she didn't really earn. And she's not just walking away out of the public eye. She's doubling down and getting mad at the people trying to question or find out who her husband's real killer was. And if you've already dug down deep enough into the Erika Kirk stuff, she's got a very shady past, defending pornography. Also, the fact that she was so quick to forgive her husband's killer, basically, which is a condemnation of Tyler Robinson. If the wife of the murder victim comes out and says, "I forgive you," forgiving means that there's something to be given for. I hate to patronize you and break it down like this, but to forgive, there needs to be something to forgive and for. So that's really a condemnation. Another metaphor would be when people say, "Oh, I'll pray for you. I'll pray that you get healing and you stop your hatred or your misogyny or your racism. I'll pray for you, bro." Women close to me in my life have said stuff like this before. And I know everyone out there has heard it, man or woman, watching this. The fact that there was another person at the event, I forget his name, George Zinn or something like that, who immediately after Kirk was murdered, he stood up and he's like, "I did it. It was me." Like, those kind of things don't seem very spur of the moment in an organic reaction to someone dying in front of you. It's like he went there in hopes he's been following him around or something like that to all of his events. Is that what's been happening? Just waiting for something like this to happen so he can do a heroic deed or something like that? That guy hasn't been investigated, and all the other anomalies that have been brought up on Candace's show for the past 10 months or whatever. None of these have really been explored by law enforcement, and you have to be. I don't even think you're blind if you don't believe it anymore. I just think you're willingly going along with something that you know not to be true out of dislike for Candace, or there's some kind of money involved with big bot accounts on social media. Maybe there's a lot of money involved saying that she's wrong and going against the or agreeing with the official narrative. But it's very clear that this is going to cause a lot of division and tension here, because really it all boils down to what's going on with the military and politics and geopolitics, which is the Iran war, which is really what people are focusing in on when it comes to what Charlie Kirk was talking about before he was killed, and how he approached Trump saying we can't get in another Middle East war. I think Judas now in August 2026, after everything we know about the state of our world, I think Judas got a lot of undeserved press, let's say. I mean, Jesus even knew that Judas was going to betray him. And Jesus obviously could have been more capable, coming from a man's standpoint. He could have been capable of taking care of Judas before he did anything wrong, before he betrayed him. But Jesus was cool, man. He was like, yeah, I know you guys suck and you're weak of the mind. I know you're going to betray me, but it's all good. That's what people do. That's what everyone's done. But maybe in your betrayal of me, you'll see that I was right about this all along. And Judas took it too hard, man. He was like, oh my God, my friend, what did I do? My friend, what did I do? This is going to be controversial, I feel like, but Judas had a moment of repentance right before his death. And I'm not trying to force religion on anyone, because I believe that all faiths offer their value, because we're ignorant to believe that thousands of years of cultures and civilizations appearing and starting on all different parts of the globe, we're ignorant to think that those ancestors, our ancestors, and where we originated from, we're ignorant and arrogant to think that we knew more than them about spiritual things, when we don't have enough time to ponder spiritual things these days unless you're really serious about it. And I'm not putting myself in that category. I could definitely spend more time in isolation and disconnected and, with God and with myself and nature and just silence. But yeah, at least Judas had that moment of realization. And the same can kind of really be said about Charlie Kirk. He was getting a lot of hate from, Fuentes' crew and the Groypers for a while, having his followers go question him at rallies and speaking events. But Charlie was one of those people that discovered something or had this big aha moment, like, what have I been working for? What has this all been for all this time? And he realized, and bam, just like many other significant leaders in history, everything's very patternized nowadays, if that's even a word, I don't know. But many things we just keep seeing over and over again. All the people who tried to bring the races together got fucked up. You could go through the list. Jesus, Malcolm X, up until he said, hey, maybe white people aren't so bad. John F. Kennedy, who's the other president with Watergate? It's slipping my mind. Sorry, I'm 31. I was dead at that time. But yeah, the Watergate guy, he was saying, hey, these people run the government. They're controlling everything and everybody. Whenever people start to get near the truth, and I know I'm not the first one to say this, but we shouldn't hate on Judas. He was a part of him, lives in all of us, I think. And only if we're being honest with ourselves, I think, can we really overcome that. And the worst part is, it still won't make people love you.